Next up is Air Force. Okay. So Air Force was an interesting one. For about 9 weeks, Air Force looked like a force, pun intended there. They looked so good. And then this team just hit a wall for the last few games of the season. And this is coming from somebody who bet them in 2 of those last 3 games and watched them frustrated. I'd also bet they're under, and the defense couldn't make it. Whatever, unimportant. So now we're looking at Air Force. Troy Calhoun's back for his 18th season as head coach. Same coordinating staff is back underneath him. Here's the problem with Air Force: 134th in returning production. So this team lost a lot from last year. Yeah, well, I mean, I think is that dead last?
No, that's the last. We have all 134 teams.
So
here.
I'm saying, are those rankings only amongst FBS, right? They don't have FCS teams mixed in there.
Oh, no, that's all FBS.
So dead last in returning production. Just 6 returning starters on the whole team, 2 on offense. So yeah, this team got gutted. They lost 3 quarterbacks. The only quarterback on the roster that has any experience at all is named John Busha. And I believe he has 3 career pass attempts, which for Air Force is like a lot. No, I'm just joking. The quarterback has 3 career pass attempts. They also lost their top 2 backs from last year. They lost their top 3 tight ends too. They did bring back their leading receiver. He had 12 catches last year, the leading receiver. So they brought back their leading receiver, but it's Air Force. Who cares about the leading receiver? They lost both backs and their top 3 tight ends. So that's a problem. And it gets even worse than that. Air Force had 7 offensive linemen that started a game for them last year. 7. They lost all 7. All 7 are gone. So the current Air Force offensive line this year, none of them started a single game last year. So we're talking about 3 tight ends gone, both running backs gone, all 7 offensive linemen gone. This offense is gutted to the maximum. And then you look at the other side, they only bring back 1 starter on the defensive line. So they lose most of their defensive line. I think in the linebackers and secondary, there is a few pieces coming back. But as far as the interior of this team, this is obviously an Air Force team that likes to run the ball more so than any other team in the FBS. Their run game got gutted. Offensive line gone, tight ends gone, running backs gone, and then their defensive line gutted as well. So I don't see any reason. Yeah, okay, they bring back an experienced coaching staff, a guy who's been there forever, but how is Air Force going to be any good?
Yeah, I was dumbfounded when I saw that Phil Steele puts his teams in order by ranking of who it is, like of where he thinks they're going to finish in the conference, or like a preseason projection type thing. And he had them second. And I think that's a little bit of blind faith, because I looked at other websites too, and they have them up there top 1 to 4. Like, even that seems like a stretch to me. Like, it seems like they have blind faith in that this guy's been here for so long that this system's just going to work no matter who you put into it. And the quarterback's going to be him. It's going to be Bush, I believe is how you say it. He was as long as he's able to run, I think he fits in the system. But like you said, how are you replacing every single O-lineman? How are you replacing your quarterback who did get hurt last year, which is why they fell off after they started 9-0. I think he got hurt in the game where they lost, and then everything went to crap. But I mean, how do you replace this much offensively and defensively and then still come out of this and be exactly the same? Because I think they finished 2nd or 3rd last year, especially in a conference where I think there's a couple of teams like Fresno, UNLV, a couple of teams like that who have improved. I mean, this team's much worse than they were last year. So I thought, reading into this team, there really wasn't much other than I think that every single insider, every single person that watches college football just has blind faith in Calhoun.
So they have their win total at 7, and then before you go hammer the under, they obviously play Army, they play Navy, both of which
very winnable games as long as they're healthy. But
very winnable games. Yes, very winnable games. At Wyoming's a loss, at Baylor's a loss, San Jose State loss, right?
Yeah.
You just said you like them.
Yeah.
So we'll give them Merrimack, we'll give them Navy. At New Mexico?
They get New Mexico. I'll give them New Mexico.
You're going to give them that one?
Yeah.
All right.
Home game. See,
Colorado State beats them.
Yeah. They lose to Colorado State. I think they can beat Army. I think Army's going to be
So
awful.
that's 4. We're giving them Army. Fresno lost. Oregon State lost.
Here's the thing. You just said Oregon
They're not
State.
getting to 7.
This is the thing. I understand Oregon State. I'm sure we'll find a way to talk about them, but those teams are I think we had Washington State in the previous one. Those teams are just flip of a coin whether they're going to be really good or really bad.
They're not going to be worse than Air Force.
No, why is there a total at 7 then? Like, that's I feel like everybody
their total's at 7 because they're giving them They're giving them San Jose State, they're giving them Colorado State, and they're giving them New Mexico.
So they're giving them 3 wins, so they're doubling that. And then I'm on the under. I have no idea how this team's like this. Like, this just seems like everybody, just because the usual is Air Force comes out, veteran coach, and runs this system, and it works every time. But you can't just plug in random people and expect it to work.
Yeah, I'm on the under too. Let's go to New Mexico, and this is one. Their win total's at 2. I don't think it's that bad, and by no means am I going to say it's good. But New Mexico head coach Danny Gonzalez was fired after 4 years with the team. He's with Arizona now as a linebacker coach. They bring in Bronco Menden